Today I'm going to be doing another page in my sketchbook, and whereas in the last video I used this Kuretake Gansai Tambi granulating watercolor set in the Aurora colors, this time I'm going to be using the Cosmic color set. These are a little bit darker, moodier colors. Here they are outside of the box. I use the Cosmic Violet and Cosmic Green colors for this painting. So for this sketchbook page, I want to keep things simple and abstract. And so I'm going to go in and just lay down some really simple shapes, starting out with this Cosmic Violet color. So here I'm putting in kind of like a rectangle shape with some rounded corners. And once I get the shape down, I like to go in and spot some darker areas of pigment. I'm using a lot of water here just so that there's some movement of the paint and so that it can create some interesting patterns. So now that I've gotten this first one down, I'm going to go in and lay down some more shapes throughout the page, just in places where I think they'll look good, and shapes that I feel like I want to paint. It's that simple. And now I'm moving into this Cosmic Green color and coming in and again doing the same thing, just laying down different shapes throughout the page in places where I think they'll look good. Adding some dots of more pigment, adding some areas of more water. Sometimes I just like to get a bunch of water on the brush and dab it down on top of the shape, and that creates some really cool effects. For me, this type of painting is really relaxing, and usually I'll have a podcast going in the background or an audiobook, and it's just time to take it slow and enjoy painting. All right, and here we are. This is a few days later. The paint is, of course, completely dried. And you can see, these paints are just so cool. Like, you can see all of the really beautiful pigment separation to create, especially in the violet color, blues and purples. But for me, this needs something more. And as I was looking at this, it really started to remind me of a gallery wall, like a wall of photos and frames. And so I wanted to build off of that. So I'm taking an 0.5 micron and I am going to add some frames to these shapes and then add some line detail in the middle to create the artwork inside each of the frames. So here I'm actually drawing outlines of what I see in the paint. So if there's an area that's darker, I'll draw around the outline of the darker area. Or if there's a lighter area, I'll draw the outline of the lighter area. And it ends up giving a really interesting effect because these patterns are all so unique to the way that the paint is laid down on the paper and how much water you have and how much time it takes to dry. It really makes each of these shapes into its own little piece of art. have it, the finished product. I am just so happy with how this turned out. I really love the effect of the outlines around the shapes that naturally form in the watercolors. I think it's so interesting to look at, and it was so much fun to paint and draw. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.